Welcome, everyone, to another thrilling episode of GRHRA's Ignite HR Hot Seat, Meet Our Sponsors segment. And today I have the pleasure of featuring Brad Johnson and Chris Beyer. Both are vice presidents and shareholders at Assured Partners, and also very long-standing partner sponsors of GRHRA. How are you guys doing this morning?
Doing great.
Doing well, Matt. Thanks for having us.
Oh, no problem. So again, we're delighted to have you participate in these hot seat questions. And with that being said, are you guys ready to dive into it this morning?
No.
Ready to go.
Okay,
Brad's go.
I'll try to take it easy.
Yeah, we'll make it easy. Yes, we're ready, Matt.
Yeah, this is your second time around, so you should be familiar with the level of hotness of these questions. So,
yes.
First one I have for you, can you share any SHRM resources and tools that have proven particularly beneficial in both of your roles in employee benefit consulting?
Yeah, I've been in the consultant role now about 8 years, and I think I've been a member of Great River probably 6 of those 8. And I think 2 things keeping us up to date as changes come through. We spend a lot of time helping consult with our HR professionals and our clients, and just having a pulse on what's happening in the world of HR. We can provide good insight because we're not HR credentialed as the benefit consultant. And I think number 2, in the last probably 2 years, it's really been the job board. We've been able to connect a lot of HR professionals looking for new positions or in transition, or helping employers find that right next hire. I think those have been 2 that I can certainly say in the last few years that have been very beneficial for me.
Yeah, good call. I think that we call it the bottom line segment. Some people have seen it, that Chris and I do on LinkedIn. And very often I'll look at what SHRM writes in their articles,
Yes.
Before I go out with those. And I don't always necessarily use that as the article, but it's usually, it plays a supporting role. They just do a really nice job. It's unbiased. There's no selling going on in their materials. I like that a lot. And then a lot of their studies that they conduct, they look at things that, we might get questions on just because it arguably hits the world of benefits, but it doesn't necessarily hit what we do day in, day out. And there's a good chance SHRM's looked at that. And so it's really kind of nice to weave that into the whole picture as we're trying to describe it.
Yeah, SHRM has a vast amount of resources. I mean, you could literally spend weeks on end just digesting everything that they have on their website. And it seems like every year it grows even more than what it was previously. Yes, it's been a fantastic resource. So second question I have for you, I think we all can agree that employee education is both crucial for maximizing the ROI of employee benefits. And Brad, I've seen that you excelled at this, but how important do you think it is incorporating humor both for the employer and the employee, and ultimately leading to a greater understanding and ultimately greater utilization rates, meaning claims paid, and making a difference in people's lives?
Yeah, I think maybe to simplify it, to be effective at communicating, the person has to be receptive to the message. And I think one way that I found with my personality is to break those walls down by getting someone to laugh, get them to smile. And I think in like a face-to-face interaction, I just have fun doing that. I'm a 12-year-old at heart. I'll joke with anyone. And so I often see the humor side of something before I see the serious side, and I'll often share that. But I think it sets the tone for a meeting when you're face-to-face to just be light. I think when it comes to like print communications and videos and things like that, for them to see that you're a real person, or your communication is using common everyday language, or even the graphics are lighthearted, cute, that type of thing. I just think employees that, I heard a stat, who knows where it comes from, but they said the average employee spends 13 minutes a year reviewing their benefits. They probably pulled it out of the sky, made it an odd number so it sounds official, but let's just say it's 13 minutes a year. The rest of us on this call spend all year on benefits, so there's no possible way that they're going to have the same level of interest and detail that we have. So we got to keep it simple, keep it light, have them interested. So I can't really incorporate like how that changes utilization rates, but I do know more people are willing to watch things. You can click views, they get better when they're shorter and concise and more fun.
Yeah, I totally agree. If it's funny, it's easier for me to remember that person, remember what they said. But if it was just long, drawn out, and boring, it just goes through one ear and out the next. So I think that's where it kind of ties into that. So
yeah, I would agree, Brad, too. I mean, as we've recorded, video sessions in this format for open enrollment or for just, point solutions for an employer plan, us being the voice or us being on video, I think is much better than having something that's just a generic production that is coming from the resource itself. I think you're exactly right. We're personalizing it more so our clients get to see us or hear from us.
Yeah. So last question I have for you guys this morning. How do you assist organizations in striking a balance between cost effectiveness and then also delivering valuable benefits to their employees?
I think that's probably the most difficult part of what we do. And we spend a lot of time thinking, how do we make improvements to our client's benefit plan to, again, keep the budget in mind, but not strip down the benefits and make it a bad place to work in terms of what our HR teams are looking for. And I think Brad and I have both found success in getting the finance team and the HR benefits team in the same room, and we have conversations about what we want to see from that benefit plan in the next 2 to 3 years. I think if you're making that decision in a silo, either just with the HR team or just with the finance team, that organization is going to miss out on opportunities to collaborate well. That's when we see the best results, because we can find, here's the reason we need to do it, and here's the outcome, and how do we make it the best for the employees as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Did you want to add anything, Brad, or?
I think it's great. It's just that balance, and that balance always changes. And I think when we talked about those SHRM studies, for example, what are other employers doing?
Yeah.
And I would argue a company could spend too much on benefits because it doesn't get appreciated. So they might as well put that towards wages, which tends to be at least more visible to folks. And so trying to find that right balance, what others are doing, what's the sweet spot for benefits, and yet be aware that there's many other cost pressures in the business and the employees, and make sure that we don't just fall in the trap to think it all revolves around benefits. It's more than just that. It's a key part of compensation, but it's obviously more than just that.
Well,
I would say the last thing to say with that is we probably don't have any client doing the exact same thing. We like to reference what we see from others and use benchmarking, but every single client has a unique culture, unique priorities, even if they're the same industry, same community. And I think that's what makes it fun, because we can take the best ideas and then figure out how to tailor that for the individual employer.
Yeah, I find that employers are quite curious and interested what others are doing, but then it starts the conversation, and then absolutely it needs to be customized to their own situation and needs. Never one size fits all. Well, gentlemen, I want to thank you very much for participating in your second hot seat. So again, not too hot, but great content that you guys provided here, and exceptional sponsors and partners of GRHRA and SHRM overall. For those who are listening, if this is your first time meeting Chris and Brad and want to learn more, we'd certainly welcome you at any future events, whether it's in person or virtual. They're often present at both of these. If you want to learn more about GRHRA in general, just check us out at www.grhra.org. And I hope you guys both have a fantastic week. All right.
You too, Matt.
All right. Thank you, Matt. Good to see you.
Thanks, guys.